I have a lot of thoughts about that. All the speakers we have, they always have a passion for what they do, and I love how you were saying, Susan, that you started doing this when you were a kid, basically. Well, we're going to get to hear from Ryan Byrne. He is the athletic director here on campus, and I am very excited to hear your story.
Thank you. Well, I think the common thread here is that you know, the story of our careers all go back to childhood, and I mean, I'm sure just about everyone has had some experience with athletics at some age, and I was someone who was participating in every sport I could possibly get into that my parents would let me, and so I played just about every single sport growing up. Tennis was a sport, although I played everything, tennis was something I was actually pretty good at and was dedicated to at an early age. But then I transitioned into playing football, and started playing football late. My first year ever starting in a football game was my senior year in high school, which is like unheard of for most people who end up moving forward. But I had a good experience with it, loved the camaraderie. Tennis was too individual for me, and I really enjoyed having other people rely on me and having that feeling of knowing that I had to get it done for other people. I love the camaraderie and working with others. So from football, I was able to continue to chase that passion at the community college level. So much like you, I started off at the community college level. I went to Santa Rosa Junior College in Northern California, and just kind of floated around taking GE classes. Was an average student, but was really passionate about football. After redshirting for 1 year, kind of learning, as my coach said at the time, whether the ball was pumped or stuffed, learning about the game, and then spent 2 years playing, had a pretty successful playing career, and then moved on, received a scholarship to Florida A&M University in Tallahassee, Florida. And that was a big culture shock, going to Tallahassee, Florida. I'd sustained a season-ending injury when I was there, shoulder injury, and ended up having to have surgery, came back to California. At that point, I was like, you know, it's a long story with Tallahassee, but I wasn't a big fan of Tallahassee. I enjoyed California, grew up here, wanted to stay here. So I transferred to UC Davis, and I couldn't play football anymore anyway. And it was the best and worst thing that ever happened to me, because, you know, my dreams, illusions, whatever you want to call it, of playing in the NFL were now gone, and I was kind of left with, okay, well, now what? I was a business major at the time when I was at Florida A&M University, and I went to UC Davis, and at that point I decided to change my track, and from some of the things that I was witnessing in Tallahassee and in the South, and with some of my friends who went to community college and were not doing well academically after they transferred, I got really into and curious about social inequality. And so I majored in sociology at UC Davis. And I had always been passionate about athletics, but now I was also interested and deeply passionate about social inequality and what we could do to kind of make an impact some way. So as I completed my degree there, and I was coaching the whole time, I was part-time coach, you know, just on the side. But as I completed my degree there, my goal was to transfer complete my master's degree in education, because I decided that, you know, if I'm going to have an impact on social inequality, it's going to be through education, through coaching, through athletics, because that's a carrot for so many people and a way of really pulling people out of a social situation that may not be positive for a number of different reasons. So I looked at athletics at that time, and I still do, as a program to improve your life choices, your life chances. You know, by participating in intercollegiate athletics and by participating in athletics in general, I view that as an opportunity to improve your chances and choices in life. So that's went through my master's degree at UC Berkeley, completed my master's degree, went to work coaching. So first thing I thought of, okay, I want to start coaching, I want to start working with students right away. So I was coaching quarterbacks at Santa Rosa Junior College. I was kind of hustling to make money however I could on the side with part-time jobs. I got hired at Sonoma State University working in athletics there. And then I was also asked to come back to UC Berkeley to start teaching in their summer bridge program, which is a program really designed to help high school students transition from high school to college. And I was assigned student athletes. So all of the football players, all of the basketball players, you know, all of the the people determined to be at-risk student athletes. So they all worked with me, and I helped prepare them to have a successful career at UC Berkeley. I taught in that program for 5 years. I worked at Sonoma State University for a couple years. I worked at Santa Rosa Junior College for about 7 years. Made the transition over to Diablo Valley College. I was hired as a football coach at Diablo Valley College. And I gotta say, in the background with all of this, you know, these are job titles and these are, you know, different institutions, but the one thing that I was doing the entire time was saying yes to opportunities. People said, hey, you want to do this? You want to try that? Yeah, I'll do it. I didn't like everything, you know, and both Susan and Vanessa both said, you know, I found out what I liked and I found out what I didn't like, and it's so critical. I mean, but saying yes to things gives you an opportunity to find out if you like it or don't like it, and you get experience. You learn what the job is actually like. So ended up working at Diablo Valley College and kind of started to transition from just a coach to an administrator. So I was sort of a half coach, half administrator. Was an associate athletic director at Diablo Valley College, and really learned that side of things, which opened my mind to, hey, you know, as a coach I can impact my players. As an athletic director, I can have an impact on all 400 student athletes. And again, going back to that social inequality approach, that was how I felt like I could have the biggest impact. So in spring of 2011, the position opened here, and you know, I was probably the only one who applied for the job that was interviewed that didn't have experience as an actual athletic director. But you know what? I think the fit, the people who were interviewing me in the institution saw that I was deeply passionate about student success and the power and the impact that we can have through athletics on student success, and that I had spent the past 10 years working to try and have that kind of an impact. And so again, it leads back to that passion thing. I was deeply passionate about it. I had a track record of doing it, and you know, although I was probably less experienced than a lot of other candidates, and I'm probably the youngest athletic director in the state of California at the college level, they took a chance on me, and hopefully they haven't been regretting it ever since. But so I've been here for just over a year now, and I love the institution, and they're completely in line with my beliefs in terms of being student-centered and student success and using education as a means of creating opportunities.
Perfect. I haven't heard any rumors that they're regretting their decision, so just so you know. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.